Hello everybody, and to Bandai and to Toei Animation for Super Dragon Ball Heroes episode 16. Bravo! You had one job to do and they did it. And something that I hoped for previously. I've been stating this in numerous reviews, but finally the inclusion of Hit and Jiren in one episode back into the fight. So, start off very simple episode. Hearts absorbing the cubes and absorbing the power of the universal seed, and that takes most of the episode. So in foresight, it gives Zamasu a chance to do something, and that he did. So everybody ragged out. They're all worn out for dealing with Karnioren, the giant version. Goku's no longer in Ultra Instinct. I hope not for the remainder of this arc, but it is Dragon Ball, so I'm kind of skeptical. But be that as it may, Vegeta fired the first shot, trying to put a stop to it as he should. Doesn't do anything because Zamasu steps in, blocks it, and then tanks all the hits from Universe 7. And then Zamasu steps up, says, "Oh, I'm going to be taking on you all mortals." And then Trunks proceeds to once again pull the top no jutsu. There's a lot of Naruto references in this episode, which I'll get into, but Trunks like again said, "Why are you allying with a mortal? Where you eliminate all mortals?" And it does explain his motivation for joining up with Hearts, and it makes sense. Appreciate that. To continuation, he says he joined up with Hearts so he can take care of the Omni King because he can't get in the way of Zamasu's Zero Mortals plan. Obviously holding a grudge against the Omni King since he erased him one time in the past in Trunks' timeline, as well as that entire timeline itself. So now there's a threat among the gods. So no, I don't know if that's gonna last. But that said, Zamasu pretty much speed blitzes every member of Universe 7. He actually uses his Aura Slash on Piccolo, and then just takes everybody else out with a hit. And it looks bad, but then it comes out of nowhere. Jiren, don't know how he got there, don't really care, glad he's here. Jiren kicks him away, and we get the fight continuation, charging up his key sword, and then Jiren fires off some energy blast, but that doesn't last long because then he gets he gets stopped in his tracks by a time skip from Hit, and I love this. I was hoping for this. And then I said this, they needed to re-include at least Jiren and Hit, and that's what they did. This could be I was hoping this was going to be the revival of Universe 6 because in the manga and in the anime they got done dirty. Of episodes, Jiren got more spotlight, but didn't really do a whole lot more than that. And clash with Zamasu, so I'm glad they're on the forefront. I wish we could have seen Kale Khalifa and Carver as well, but you can't have everything. Spoiler alert, I guess we're not going to see that Kefla and Zamasu fight after all, because Zamasu's done after this episode. Hit uses time skip, punches him, and this could be a reference to the fight in the manga in the first chapter of this arc. We have yet to see this confrontation at all. And spoiler alert, Hit got done very, very dirty, but I'm glad they decided to make up for that with this episode. It was only one attack, but it's better than nothing, and it's great to see Hit portrayed in a great light. So, and Zamasu's freaked out. So, and we do get some explanations that the Kaioshins of Universe 6 and 11 sent Jiren and Hit respectively to Universe 7, so that makes sense. I was hoping for that. We got some sense and continuity, so I appreciate that. Goes back to the corner. He's like triggered by how dare you strike a mortal. And then out of nowhere, the cubes emerge. There's an explosion. Goku's like, get back because something bad's going to happen. Even Jiren's feeling the force of this. He's not concerned, but it's going to be interesting to see what Hearts can do now that it's absorbed the universal seed. And I have to admit, I love this form. I was hoping he wouldn't turn into a giant Hearts. Great, that wasn't the case. It kind of turns golden to some extent, but he also turns into a Mega Shaman because he has the spikes on his back. By the way, I mentioned the Naruto references. There's a part in this episode where Zamasu grabs a hold of Goku. Goku actually tries to put up a fight. Worn out as he is against Zamasu, doesn't do anything. So Zamasu grabs hold of Goku and pulls a Sasuke and tries to rip his shoulders off. So that's definitely a reference to Sasuke. So I don't know if anybody else saw that, but I did.
Then we go to the betrayal portion of the episode, and I figured there'd be a betrayal in this arc when it came to Zamasu and Hearts. However, I had it the wrong way around because I thought Zamasu was going to be the one to betray Hearts because he didn't like the way he's been talked to. He just felt like they were setting Zamasu up to do something as a betrayal. But no, turns out the betrayal ended on the other side, and Hearts was the one that betrayed Zamasu. As soon as he emerged, he pinned Zamasu like Jesus himself with the cubes. And speaking of references, they had to place cubes around Zamasu and just demolished him, just dismantled him. And even Goku and the rest was in shock. Like, he's just gone, like erased. Like, he pulled a Zeno, an Omni King. So that's some crazy stuff. If that's what he's turned into, I didn't see that coming. I saw the betrayal coming. I didn't see Hearts being the one to do it. Now he seems like more of a threat. I don't know how long this arc was going to go, so I figured had to be a betrayal at some point.
Goku, Jiren, and Hit at one point actually charged Zamasu, and that's when the explosion and Hearts emerged. But that was a great scene in this episode. It may have been one of my favorite episodes thus far. Not a lot happened, but the implications of this episode was great. Being as great animation as, per se, episode 13, but it still stands on its own, in my opinion. Hopefully, Goku doesn't pull an ass pull and we don't make any sense to have Hit and Jiren there. If Goku's going to try and trigger Ultra Instinct, that'd be way too much. So unless this form surpasses Ultra Instinct of Hearts, I don't see that being the case. It could lead to a fusion, but I don't know. That's really pushing it. Hit and Jiren are there. Hopefully they put in work. They need to. Hearts' new form, he kind of takes on Omega Shenron a little bit, his appearance, because he has the spikes on his back. Very Omega Shenron-like. And he absolutely orbs that around him, the like spheres. Kind of reminds me of Obito in his Jubi form, when he had those black spheres around him. So it's very similar to that, but it's a very badass form. And this is what got me, because we go to the palace to where the Omni King is. You see a shot burst of power, right? And immediately, even the Grand Priest, for a split second, seems very somewhat concerned. It shows an expression of concern. So that got me, because now this is a threat. So, and now this is where the threat of trying to eliminate your Omni King comes into play. I like his nickname, the God Slayer. Hearts is born, and Hearts is gonna go on a rampage. It's going to be cool to see Jiren hitting Goku team up to try and take this guy down. Maybe Vegeta's got something in store, but for nothing else, this was a great episode. Very simple one, yes, but it did its job and it did what needed to be done, and I appreciate that. So let me know what you guys think down below. Hearts new form looks sick. Jiren and Hit are back in the picture, so that's great. Thoughts in the comments down below. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like this review if you did. Subscribe to our channel for Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Catch you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.